guys? We just got back from seeing Creed 2, and we're gonna make a review for it. Let's do it.
So as most of you probably know, this one takes place after the events of the first Creed, and Adonis is doing pretty well. He's winning a lot of championships in boxing, and he's about to get married to his wife, when a new challenger approaches him in the form of Victor Drago, which is the son of Ivan Drago, which, as most of you probably know, killed his father Apollo. And now he's taking this personal, and he wants to fight him. And now there's going to be a big fight between Victor and...
Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, I'm a big fan of the OG Rocky movies. And, you know, I know all there is to know about each movie. But I still think that... Okay, first of all, I thought this movie was really good. And even if you just know the basics of the franchise, like if you just know who the main characters are, then this movie should make at least some sense to you. And for someone like us who hasn't seen, like, the old movies... I feel like this movie can be like, this one and the first Creed can be like a gateway to, you know, really starting to, you know, see some of the old ones and see the whole story connect and, you know, just see it all make sense.
And like Dick said, I also enjoyed this movie, and I also noticed that this one is different from the first one. I mean, of course, I know there's different directors, so they probably had different visions, but I feel like this one was more, like, focused on, like, the training and, like, the sport of boxing itself. And I feel like the first one was more of, like, a drama, well, at least for the first half or so of the movie.
Yeah, because the first one is kind of like a backstory, because there's, like, the whole beginning part is, you know, who is he? He meets his
adopted mother.
Yeah, adopted mom.
And then he meets Rocky.
He meets Rocky, and then he meets Bianca, and, you know, all the things.
Everything happens.
Yeah.
But now you know everyone, so they can just cut straight to the chase and be like, oh, here's boxing. And then how Victor comes up, and it's pretty interesting. I think adding the Dragos was a really good idea, because they were both pretty good in this movie.
Yeah.
The characters were great. I kind of wish I would have seen a little more from Rocky in this one than in the last one.
And another thing about, you know, like you said, like, the two directors are different, is it affected the story, because, you know, in the last one of the major plot points was the fact that Rocky got cancer. And, you know, that aspect is never really brought up in this one, except for, like, you know... If they just them just making reference to the last movie about, like, how you had cancer and I was, like, there to help you, but it's not like anything is like it's not
really incorporated into Rocky's character in the movie.
Yeah, it's not like.
And going to this movie, I felt like the whole fan service thing, you know how Hollywood does these days, you know, you make like a reboot or a sequel, you're like, oh, you gotta add these people from the lore. And I honestly think that wasn't really going to work as well as I thought it would, but it actually really worked whenever they added, you know, the Dragos back, so I feel like everyone needed to see that.
It was really cool. And I also liked when it showed Sports Center, because, you know, it just kind of made it like a real world.
Well, it's like, it's one of those little things, because, like...
And, like, Max Kellerman was in it as, like, a boxing analyst, so it's like, it really made it, like... Because even though we all know this is not a true story, but, like, it made it feel like, you know, this was a real, like... boxing, like,
and this was really affecting, like, the sports world and everything.
Yes, and, like, the, you know, who's the best boxer, like, who's the GOAT, you know how it is. Now, one of the things that I didn't really like about the plot and the story is there were maybe about one or two, or, like, it was a couple things that just seemed a little ex machina-y, where it's just, like, it happens, and, like, it wasn't a bad thing, it's just, you know, one thing
simultaneously just
led
happens
to another, and it happened. It's not like, because, you know, in some movies, you think, you know, it's just a lame plot device, like something happens for the sake of happening. But for this one, it's not really as evidence. It's a more real life. Like, it's not based on a true story, but it's like a more grounded in reality story instead of, you know, like the sci-fi movies and the Marvel movies and stuff.
And of course, what I want to talk about right now is the big scenes in the movie, like, you know, the training montages, and of course the fight itself. And what really made those scenes extra, like, more, like, shine more than other scenes was the soundtrack. The soundtrack was amazing in those scenes.
The music in those scenes was kind of like something you'd hear on, like, a pregame hype playlist, you know, like, gets you in the mode. And, like, we saw it with our friend Will. You probably remember him in the Avengers Infinity War review. But, you know, for the three of us, like, it got us really hyped, because I'm not going to say it made us, like, we were there, but it kind of reminded us of that mindset that you're in, whether you're, like, grinding and working out, or if you're, like, about to play in a huge game. It, you know, just really, it hyped us up for the scenes to come.
And for the fight itself, it was surprising. Like, it left us more on the edge of our seats than we thought it would be.
Yeah, especially, you know, me, like, of course I knew the fight was going to be awesome, but, like, I was really, like, immersed. I was like, okay, this is cool, and, like, just, like, it was crazy.
I don't know if I've been this nervous during the third act of a movie, and let alone in Creed 2. Like, I feel like this much nervousness I had in this movie would be more for like in Avengers 4 or something like that. But it was in Creed 2, which really surprised me.
It was a big fight, and I'm trying hard not to spoil anything by saying this, but it's like, just like blow after blow. It's like, whoa, that's cool. Like when they were just like taking shots at each other and stuff. Like it was pretty.
And there's a lot of fighting in this movie, so if you're into more of the boxing than the story itself, you'll be in this movie, and you're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah. And even though there's a lot of fighting in this one, there's still some of that drama type stuff in the story because as you've probably seen in the trailer, he does have a baby, and there's some things about the baby that kind of complicate things. Not trying to spoil
it, but
something happens, and it kind of adds another layer to that subplot.
Yeah.
So there's still that kind of, and as you also see in the trailer, Rocky saying don't do this. You could die, you just family.
Like your father did.
Yeah, and it's like that kind of drama aspect, but there's still. I'm not saying it's bad because it's it adds depth to it, but there's still the fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what most of you probably came to see is people punch each other in the face.
Yeah. When it comes to the rating for this movie, I'm gonna be honest. I have not put a lot of thought into what I think the rating for this movie will be. I'm not sure if I can say. I might give it a little bit of a slight edge over the first one. I don't know, though. I might need to get a little more thought into that one, but...
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I saw the first movie when it actually came out, I'd probably... Because, it came out several years ago, so I probably would have seen it multiple times before this one. So I feel like I would be more used to that one. I mean, it's still close.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd have to give them both some more watches before I determine, which one is for sure the definitive one. But for now, just because, that was, I guess, recency bias maybe, but, I'm just going to give this one the slight edge because, I just thought, the whole Drago element was really cool and stuff.
Because it actually worked, which really surprised me, and I'm glad it did because it made the whole movie better. And what's your rating for the movie?
In between 7.5 I'll give it 8. I'll go 8.
I might give it an 8, too.
Yeah, but between 7.5 and an 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go.
It's not the best movie ever, but it's still pretty good. I mean,
the third act makes it.
The
third act was amazing.
Some people may not like it, but I think it's great. Y'all should go see it.
It's easily the best part of the movie is the third act, which makes sense because it's a fighting movie.
It's the big fight.
It's the big fight, and then the training montage is
like
the third act
versus Drago and all
that
stuff.
Of course, it's gonna be the best part, and it was because if it wasn't, that would be a big problem. But it was. It lived up to the hype. The fight, like I said, it lived up to the hype, and it's definitely a watch you should give it.
Alright, bros, that's it for this video. If you like this video, hit that like button and put some comments down below about what you thought. Have you seen this movie? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you like our video? And just any other things.
Any video suggestions?
Any video suggestions. Any questions about the channel. Just anything in general. Just,
And once again, shout out to our boy Will. You've probably seen him in one of our videos. Be sure to check his channel out and see what he does. He creates magic content, and it's pretty good because he's a pretty good magician, and it works. Yeah. You should definitely go in his videos and tell him Filmmaker sent you.
Yeah, and there'll be a link in the description, and there'll be something that appears right here on the screen for you to click on to go to his channel. And with that being said, see y'all.